from the sky. That's like unkosher to the Jews, though, right? Like we can't be engaged. We got a mutual agreement not to do that.
Is that Norm's gay song? Okay.
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Funny, right? He's got an actual sense of humor. Yeah, that's my kid. One of them.
Okay, does anyone here actually like Iran?
I'm starting to like them.
I like the people are fantastic.
I mean, they've always been based, I'm not gonna lie. But the Iranians are like
to me, the people are disappointing.
One like equals one right. Women don't have Iran.
One like equals one prayer for Tel Aviv. But to be honest, the people are starting to annoy me. Like, they're not doing shit. They say all like this whole talk.
Their government kills them.
There's 100 million of these guys, bro. You're telling me 80%, 80 million people don't want to live under these fuckers?
Yo, have they ever?
They're gonna get stepped off.
Have they ever done any significant revolt against the government since 1979?
What's the question?
No, there's never been, bro. There's never been.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
You're so wrong, Jack. They've tried numerous times.
You know what they did? They peacefully protest against the most evil regime on the planet. Yeah,
if you lift your pinky, they kill you, Jack.
Yeah, dude. That's whatever. You're not organized, armed, nothing. You're just waiting for Israel to come liberate you, which will never happen. And you're letting this evil regime live on, right?
Are you predicting what happens regarding the fall of this regime or not?
I don't see that happening.
This regime,
well, I mean, I think
not anytime soon.
Let's just say that Israel's working very closely with them, and I think this is probably the best time since the 1979 for this to happen. Just put it that way.
And they're not doing shit still. I'm just saying, man. It's just. Like, I'm telling you, Norm, like, they think Israelis are gonna do everything for them.
You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing, Jack. And you don't know what Israel is doing. I just get the vibe from how they're talking, how they're moving. What's their name? What's their resistance's name? Does anyone know? What?
What's the opposition for the regime in Iran?
There is no organized opposition like that.
And that's what the fuck are we doing? 50 years since these fuckers took over. You don't have an organized arm.
The diaspora can return home. Think of that. Think of how great that is.
The diaspora is not going to free Iran. It has to be the people in there.
No, I said they're going to return home to a free Iran.
Oh my goodness. No, dude, stop selling these people fucking false hope. Let's talk about reality. What the fuck are they going to do?
Stop selling that. You listen, Jack. You didn't predict this. What we're seeing now. Let's see what happens. This couldn't have been done without.
Would you say, Norm? Would you agree with this? If it's not now, we'll probably, near never for these people if they don't take advantage of this opportunity.
This is the best opportunity, but it's not the last opportunity.
Notice the best opportunity involves Israel dropping bombs on their heads.
Only on their nuclear side. They're avoiding civilians, which they're not doing, and the population knows it and loves us for it.
I literally saw a video of a hijabi last. Elon saying that we want nukes now for us.
You sound very freaky. Are you in bed with
why is this Nigerian nigger so-called Catholic always talking shit about Jews? You're so focused on them or whatever.
You were just doing Nazi
shit. Go back in the fucking psych hospital where you were.
You switch up every other room. It's wild.
Exactly. I wish you wouldn't get racial.
We have a lot.
No, him and I have never gotten along.
Yeah, but you switch flops in every single room.
He's the most hateful most hateful person on the planet. He hates himself.
You're also
what you get.
Holy shit.
Well, say again?
The thing is, though, he's a Catholic that was like.
Yes.
If we were to look at Pope Leo, if we were to look at Pope Francis, the shit that you're saying would never you understand that they would completely disavow everything.
He's an NPC, Pepe.
You haven't read Vatican II very well.
He's just always the same nonsense. You just push a button and out it comes. It's useless.
You haven't
But who
read
the fuck
Vatican
cares?
II.
You guys are still thinking in 2D, worrying about gay shit that no one cares about, like how many people die, who thinks what of whom. How about we try to make money? So, what do you think tomorrow will happen?
You taking me out for steak, Randy? Then I'll care about your money.
No, but what about your money?
Oh, that you just changed that subject really quickly.
Well, it's not
Right,
just
you just
about
asked me
me
to care
growing.
about
This
your
is
money.
because I want all of us to grow together, and this is a beautiful opportunity to push our dollar.
I agree. I agree.
I don't care about who thinks what of whom. Do the Iranis like Iran? Do the Israelis, what do they think about Bibi? I don't give two damn shits. Who the fuck cares?
The Jews care.
Well, then let the Jews care. I don't care. I want to make money. So, what do you think?
You know what? Probably the best thing you can do is to make money. I agree with you. And I have a feeling you're not going to give it to the wrong people.
Define that.
I tell you what, give it to your people. Like, grow your community, and I'm a happy camper.
I'm a one-man community, though.
Well, build something good, enduring. Build something educational. Look, pick one of three things: arts, education, or medicine. That's the Jewish thing. Pick one of those. Or pick the third thing. Pick startups. Pick innovation. I mean, go for it. That's all. Have fun with it. Be famous. Give TED Talks.
Why would I do that?
To promote
Yeah,
yourself.
all the
so you make more
Persians.
money.
You
All
say
the
you're a
Persians
teacher.
left. I was hoping to talk to them.
Rabbi
All
says
the
that he's a teacher.
No, I'm
and
here.
TikTok's a great way to teach.
I'm not really a teacher. I am.
Well, that's what rabbi means.
Yeah, well, I am a teacher in the sense that people learn through my learning, but I'm a student.
Okay.
Learning is a mitzvah.
Everyone can teach something to somebody.
Jim.
Yeah, but I believe in exclusive knowledge. I don't believe in like telling people how to fish. Just give them a fish.
Well, you don't give them a fish. You just
Make a
point
lot
them
more
in the
money
direction
teaching them
of
to
the lake.
fish.
I sell them a fish, but I'm not going to teach them how to fish. Then that's not good for business.
It puts them out of business.
Not everyone's gonna fish.
Wait, you can make up a joke. There's a joke in there somewhere.
Oh man.
I have a joke for Yaakov.
Right.
Okay, it's a Gary Goldman joke. So I flunked out of metaphor school, and it was like,
Did you see his routine on abbreviating the state names?
oh my God, I have it memorized.
Oh my
It's the
God,
best
that
thing
is
in the
an amazing routine. It has so many things weaved, like all good.
It's a master.
Yeah, it's great. It's like Dottie and
Yeah,
the
Dottie,
omelet
yeah.
chef. There's all sorts of different routines built into this thing.
Yeah,
It's a routine. Just go onto
it's genius.
YouTube and type Goldman, Gulman, state name abbreviations.
It's called Abbreviating the States is the name of the thing.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
Search
he
for it
has
the way I
horrible depression, you know that?
did not know that.
Horrible. He has a special called The Depresh. I recommend it to everybody. We went and saw it live. I know him a little bit. We took pictures with him. I'll PTR them.
Name drop.
Watch it. Total name drop. But this person right here went with me.
This person right here.
I'm in bed with a man.
I want to watch this.
Okay.
It's more information I need to
Nora
know.
just came out of the closet.
Oh, child.
Actually, I just came out of an Italian restaurant with my son, and I'm hanging out with him here. We're about to watch a film.
Oh, child. You don't want to say that, man. You do not want to
He
say
also
that.
did the routine on, he wanted to play hockey, and his...
Oh, yeah. That's the Sprite routine.
And let's look up all of the Jews who ever played hockey.
Well,
Oh, okay, done.
done. No, you know what's his other really good one is cookies. He's really good on cookies.
I just like him. He grew up more in Boston.
That's correct. And he's 6'5".
Yeah, he's huge. And he got the most prototypical Jewish nose.
6'5". That's a lot of Jew. The most humble person you'd ever met.
Yeah, nice guy.
Okay, good night, everybody.
See you later.
Wait, what's that in the Pepe picture?
That's me when I was like 21-ish.
Oh my God, was it your hoodlum days?
Yeah,
You look like you were hoodlum.
I was.
So
Looks like a cinder block of a police station where they're about to say turn left.
But Pepe, it
Look
says
brown.
2013.
Yeah, so 2013, but like that would have been 2020, 2003,
Oh, okay.
2002.
It says 20.
You lived in Arizona, right?
Yeah, I live in Arizona.
You get a lot of sun, huh?
So did you
Wait,
guys
Kansas.
notice how it's the first time that El Normo didn't go wild in a room?
Yeah, his son actually went more wild than him.
Oh, his son was in tonight?
His son is on cacaos?
He put his son on the phone, you know?
Oh, today? Or another time?
Yeah, like right now, before.
Oh,
I don't know if you're
I
right
heard
here.
he did that before. I didn't know he did it today.
Pepe, somebody says you're black in the audience. Are you gonna take that?
Why do you think?
No, I'm Mexican. I'm very.
He is black.
Why do you think he was calm tonight? Usually he's going wild.
It's his
Because
son.
his son is
Drugs.
He can't crash out
No,
on
he
the way.
can't crash out in front of his son.
He has to seem like the normal guy, you know?
Although I tend to think parents know their children know their parents pretty well.
Okay, maybe that's what it is. I like El Normo when he's calm.
Hey y'all, how's it going?
You like all of you hosts in the chat that want to say something about me. Like, I slayed women like throughout most of my life. Like, I was lucky enough to be like kind of good looking, and so
If you don't say so yourself.
yeah, I would say so myself. And so, but I would say the results would kind of, you know, it just happened. But yeah, so you guys can make fun of my picture. That's fine. But most of you women, like, I mean, come on. I'm better looking than most of you. We're not looks matched, so
Oh my
it's fine.
God, are you really going there, Pepe?
You do have the
Yes,
Middle
I
Eastern
definitely
nose. You definitely got the Middle Eastern nose.
Yes, I have a big nose. I have a big nose.
Big beak.
Absolutely.
No, he looks Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever see the
But
movie?
Italians,
You ever see the
you know.
movie True Romance? That was a Quentin Tarantino script.
No.
Watch the final scene.
A lot of French people have big noses. I don't know why, but it's just.
Yeah, it's not just the Jews.
What is
No, the French people are like the Cajuns in the South always kind of like made fun of their big noses.
Fuck
Yeah,
man,
just-
y'all are talking about gay shit here. Can y'all
But
Shut
you're
the
gay.
fucking mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what they all do. They only talk about gay shit.
Yo, bro, Iran
Cool.
is turned out to be.
Okay, I understand that you're an inbred Arab. Okay, Rabbi.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
You guys all have the big noses, okay? That's literally all your people have. You know,
Oh,
the
my
French, I understand. I was
Oh.
unfortunate enough to have maybe a phenotype more similar to your people's, but, you
Hold
know.
on, I gotta clear something up. John, is it Kitover with 2 T's or 1 T? I've seen it both ways.
It's 3 T's. He's KKK.
No. I said T's, not K's.
I know.
John, put it in
I
the
had
chat.
too much
Is it
coffee.
K-I-T-T or K-I-T?
Kitty cat.
Y'all, do you guys think Israel is gonna use Dahiya doctrine on Iran?
The what doctrine?
What?
The Dahiya doctrine?
Probably.
Dahia?
What is that?
Yeah,
Define that, please.
I'll put that in the chat. I heard it in one of the military rooms here on Clubhouse, and apparently that means that they're going to kill a lot of civilians in order to match up for every time they shoot. Something like that. They use this on Lebanon. It's a doctrine that they've been using, but so yeah, I just wanted you guys'
Well, that's
opinion on this.
focused on military targets. There will be collateral damage, but if you look at the map,
I love collateral damage.
and yeah, they published a map of
Scientists are not
with
military.
little circles. What?
Love
Scientists are not military.
Scientists working on nuclear weapons or ballistic missiles are.
Yeah, they were
They're
military.
scientists.
They were military scientists,
Yeah.
specifically
Well,
to
let's
make
be real.
bombs.
Is that do any of you have like a moral problem with the fact that they targeted scientists that were trying to, you know,
Yes.
Or they weren't curing cancer. Let's put it this way.
Everything.
Well, wait, no. Somebody said yes. I'm just curious why.
Because they're scientists and they're the brightest of the bright.
Every moral claim.
Okay, but well, hold on a second. You said that because they're scientists and they're brightest of the bright. I mean,
is that really how it came out with their scientists and their brightest of the bright?
well, hold on a second. No. Because if we were to look at like even like Nazi Germany, like they were abundance of brilliant people. They were this. The fact that that little country, that small population, could put up the fight that they did is like that is something a lot of people still reckon with. Any Western troops that have had a fight against them, they do give them their due respect because of that. But like when it comes to innovation, they were obviously very.
But what the fuck are you guys talking about?
They were very advanced, and so you're talking about. Okay, if you were to look at like, for example, whoever was creating whichever weapons in Nazi Germany,
My God.
would they have been off target for the United States if it would have saved American lives?
Nobody
Like,
cares about.
obviously, we would have fucking killed them. Like, this is silly.
Any moral argument is gay, boring, and retarded. And that's
It's not a moral argument. That's literally a logical argument.
There's no good guys, no bad guys. There's nothing cool.
No, it's logical because this talented person would end up introducing advancements in warfare where they would it'd be costly to us, and so like just fucking kill them.
Well, fine. Go ahead and do that. But
Well, that's what Israel did. That's what Israel did.
Okay, I just don't see any moral value, whether positive or negative.
Well, I don't either. I think strategically, like there's an abundance of moral value, or not moral value, but value.
Fine, but not moral value. Like, who is to say what is on the table, or what should be on the table, and what shouldn't? So
Well, yeah, I retracted the moral. I said value. Like it's a value judgment where it's like we want less of our people killed or to be at risk, and so we just went ahead and took these people out. I mean, it's that simple.
So do you guys know what's on the table for the Iranians at this point?
Everything is on the table.
No, what are they gonna do in order to?
They're not gonna do shit. These fucking third world pieces of shit. Like what can they ever fucking do? Like they're not gonna do anything.
So their gameplays, they have probably 2 to 3 good gameplays that they got.
No, they have no fucking gameplay. Like they literally have.
Pepe, listen, go grab your notebook and a pen. You're gonna take notes tonight. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you what the game plan is.
Okay. Okay, I want to hear to this high IQ genius who says he has a game plan. Go ahead.
I don't have a game plan. My assumption is that they have these game plans because they've been talking about it forever in the media. One of them is their straight-up Hormuz blockade scenario. The other one...
that would be amazing. You know the price of oil would skyrocket.
Yeah, but we're going to make fucking bank on this shit.
That's right. That's what matters at the end of the day.
Pepe, did you take notes on this one?
I'm listening.
I like this Sohrab guy. He seems like he knows how to make a dollar.
No, man, I'm a rookie. But the other one is that for them to go test some dumb bomb they got from Pakistan in the middle of the desert, and then every country gonna be like, holy fuck, let's pull back and think about our choices now. And then the third one is it's going to be a little bit different, and that's going to come, hopefully, when Israel actually stops playing around killing the generals and actually kill the main guy. Because they could have killed the main guy.
Sure. So I would say, like, the flaw of your argument is that Israel, the amount of copium, I get it. There's the people that hate the Jews and, all of that stuff on here. I'm not I'm more of an America First person. I'm not going to suck Israel's or Jews' dicks.
But can you admit that that's equally gay? America First?
Absolutely. No, America First, no. Because,
Oh, of course it is.
how?
Because to me, it's Rabbi First. I wipe my ass with your flag.
I know you dirty fucking sand nigger loving Christ cuck. Like that's not how it works here. But what I would say is that okay, I don't even remember what I was saying.
So again,
you dirty sand nigger. That's what you do. Like it's your stupid tactics.
like I'm just calling out the homosexuality wherever I see it.
I know, and that's why you get cucked all the time.
I'm literally a bull.
No, you're literally a cuck.
But I can prove that I'm a bull.
Okay, crying in the cuck chair after your penis got broken is not. That's not proof.
Give me your telegram.
I'm not into your kind of degeneracy.
But if you send me your telegram, I will show you every single white man that I've cucked.
And I'm guessing that like your favorite part of the cucking was that like you had to, unfortunately, like while you were fucking her, you had to look at him. You ended up busting a nut in his wife while while you were dreaming of fucking him, and then he had to clean the cream pie not only out of your her, but he would have to clean the cum off of your cock, and that's it's probably
visual. Pepe, what the hell is going on here?
I'm just guessing.
Oh, John.
Come on, Pepe.
Oh, John. He's
Very
been on
dirty
the weird
people.
side of Pornhub.
So I have a question for the group here. What do you guys think will happen to the Chabahar port?
To the what?
The Chabahar port that the Iran has.
What about Chabahar Port?
So there's a port which India developed in Iran.
Yeah,
And,
I know Chabahar, but what about it? What do you want from Chabahar?
So
What's happening?
so will it also be getting targeted in this attack?
Potentially, but that puts them at bad. I'm not sure India will be happy with that.
No, it's not about India. It's Iran. But the importance of that port is because China keeps sending them the materials for their missiles, the fuel they need, and that's the only importance that port has militarily for them. Also, there are a bunch of bullshit submarines sitting around there. That's about it.
Okay, so it will be probably targeted.
Yeah, but it's not as important as other shit that are in Persian Gulf and Sea of Oman that Iran got. It's like that thing is no importance really.
Okay, so how are you Iranian? You sound Iranian.
I am Iranian.
Okay, are you in Iran?
No, I'm in LA.
Oh, child.
Hmm.
Okay, so how likely do you think that they are to close the Hormuz Strait? Because that's what I care about.
I care about that a lot too. It depends. If they had main refineries and oil production facilities in the south of Iran, then they will do this. And oh my God, easily WTI is going to go.
But why do you think they will only close it if that's the case?
Because to some degrees, that's like shooting themselves in the foot. See, one of the generals said, if we can't have oil, no one else should have oil. And that he was pointing out to the Strait of Hormuz by saying that, So that's how much potential it has. And when he says if we can't have oil, he's talking about the main largest refineries and the oil production.
Okay, so but they got their production sources ahead.
Yeah, those things they got ahead, those are not the main ones. Those are still important, but the biggest one is in Khuzestan. It's in the southwest of Iran. And those big ones, these are that they had. These are the things that they used to, pile up all the oil and gasoline in Tehran, in cities, in order to give it to the gas stations and shit. It's not that major shit that's going to make them fall on their knees in a month or two.
That's right. Okay, and well, I do think it's going to happen in less than a week. They're going to close the Hormuz Strait, and if I'm not mistaken, that's that's 20% of the flow of.
So they can't do that. You see, they have military calculation that they know Iran would do such a thing. So that's why they have to take permission from USA prior to hitting those, because this is going to change the price of oil. It's going to add up to the inflation. It's going to fuck around with a lot of things that has to do with energy. And if these guys invested just as much as they invested in their missile system and shit, they invested in their Navy warfare and all that. So if they did, they're going to hold it. And the longer they hold it, we're going to see something in economy like energy crisis. And God knows how much Jack and Joe got to pay for gas in LA, before they lose all their head.
You guys are going to basically like out-Jew the Jews in finance. Amazing. This is so fucking retarded.
We all have the same.
It is amazing. I mean, I want them to close Hormuz.
What, you got yourself some Schlumberger, some Oxy? What did you get?
Well, I would say this, like, the reality is that, like, when it comes to outbeating them, financially, like, it's just, like, I hear a lot of copium. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, I just think...
I don't like copium. I like copium.
It's because you guys don't beat them.
Who?
What do you mean, beat them?
Like, pretty much everybody, if I'm being honest.
Well, what the fuck is this guy saying?
I don't get it. Beating who? They are already...
The Jews.
What do the Jews have to do with this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, but we're trying to make money. We don't care about any fucking Jew, both dead or alive. We don't care about Iranis, both dead. We care about my cash flow.
That's a good attitude for a dumb, saying nigger. It's a good attitude.
That's not amazing. That's like amazing. Some people are trying to make money.
To be fair, like the Lebanese and all of them, they tend to do. The Lebanese Christians tend to do really well, for whatever reason.
So if anything, once WTI gets above 85, then things gonna get really juicy out here. The other thing is important.
Well, that's the thing. I do see it going between 100 and 120.
I know, my friend. Everybody who actually looks at price and time, they're expecting it. The importance is that military guy was going to pull the trigger on this. But one of the things that I think has the importance are the low cap Israeli asset, like TAT technologies, like TATT. These things, they're also on the Israeli exchange, and these are the type of things that are going to be needed more and more, and the demand of it can go higher and higher. They bet, and then they got to show up and show how much they can perform. And the Western world is going to take a look at it and be like, oh, look, their defense system doesn't work. Oh, their defense system does work. Oh, I like this surveillance technology they have, and they're going to start investing in it. So these things, along with oil, obviously, and all the assets related to energy, those are the things that are going to be, a good watch list to make of.
That's right. I'm not sure I would get involved in anything Israeli, though. Maybe short the shekel. What do you think, Summer? How do things look like from your end?
Sorry, I was doing a couple of things in the background, so I missed out on some of the discussion. But right now, I think the easy plays have been played out already. I wouldn't be making any moves right now. Just waiting for the next news cycle, basically. Just sitting tight for now. Gold, I think gold is vulnerable to a retrace. Oil is vulnerable.
Gold is too high, man. Too fucking high.
Same thing with the WTI. Like, it could go higher if this is a protracted conflict, but I'm not gonna take that risk. I think the downside risk is too much on with crude. So yeah, I'm just I'm sitting tight right now. I think defense, we might just see the defense stocks continue to climb a little bit higher. I think those are the only ones that will sustain their price levels even once this conflict ends. I think I don't think those will come back down if this war comes to an end. Other than that, there's not much that comes to mind.
Who is taking UCO right now? Or UCO? Tika UCO.
UCO is a 2x WTI. It's like a 2x WTI ETF.
So it's actually, the shekel went down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna short that shit. I might short it, dude.
Wait, you're gonna short oil? Is that what you just said?
No, short the shekel.
Oh.
I'm gonna take a look at it real quick.
Maybe I'm not. I didn't determine yet, but
You see oil is
depends
right
on
now
how
at 8.
thing goes. I mean, it didn't go down that much. If you check it, can you look at the 5-day chart
I'm looking at 5 days. So I said
and then take
you're
a
looking
1 month chart?
USD shekel, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it over 1 year, it's pretty down. I just think that there's lots of more down movement. Yes,
Possibly.
USD
Possibly.
is down.
Yeah, see, it was trading at what 382 in April. It was down to 382. Most of April, it was less than what it is right now. So yeah, I think yeah, you could be right about this one. It's probably some downside.
You're talking about April. What? You're talking about April.
It peaked around April 9th, April 10th.
It did peak around April 10th, right?
Yeah.
April 10th, 9th, yes. But then it's been going down like shit. That's right. Ever since then, it's been going down like shit, and then it pumped up big time. But now this happened. I do feel like it's gonna go down big time. No. I mean,
Yeah, we might retest that 370 to 380. I think so.
Zoom out on that 1 year chart.
What ticker are you discussing? What ticker are you guys discussing right now?
USD ILS, yeah.
ISL. No? Is it ILS or
ILS.
ILS? ILS, yep. It's so funny how people are wasting their time on dumb political shit. Like, there's much more important shit, dude.
So I wouldn't short this, bro. That's just it.
You wouldn't?
No, I would not.
Why?
It has broken the structure to upside, and this drag is probably going to take about a few days, and then it's going to become bullish again.
Why do you
Some
think
people-
it broke?
So when I say it broke the structure, I'm talking about, let's see, put it on daily candle so I can explain this better. Yeah. So the height of 23rd of May 2025 was broken. So it made a higher high. When something makes a higher high, it breaks the structure.
Yeah, but it made that when?
It made this on the 13th. On Friday, it spiked out USD. So USD, you guys are talking about long game. Hold on, this is USD to shekel.
Yeah, but this
so
happened
USD
before.
is bullish. Yeah, USD is bullish. So USD is gonna go higher. It's gonna go to eventually hit 371. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but no, not the No, we're talking about the Israeli.
Yeah, it's gonna be the opposite. So yeah, the shekel is gonna lose its value. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you thought I'm gonna short the USD?
I pulled up the USD shekel. Yeah. And now I see that USD is bullish towards shekel. Mm-hmm.
Correct. So So I'm thinking about shorting the shekel, not the USD. If you look at the shekel, it doesn't seem to me like there's any positive sign. I mean, it makes no sense for it to be positive, right?
No,
but like, if you look,
you have to have a thesis around the Dixie. If dollar index is also lining up with your thesis, then yes, that's a good idea. But if dollar index is not going to line up, and if dollar index is bearish, then we have a situation. You might get surprised on that.
Yeah, I didn't do any research into it yet. I popped into my head just now as I lie on my bed. But if you look at it like the 5-day chart, you can see it's higher than what it was. I do think it's going to go lower than what it was.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Now I need
if you go to the 1 month chart.
Mm-hmm. No, you're looking at very, very high projection here, you know? And I'm cool with that. I'm just saying now I got to figure out if DXY is going to continue being bearish or no, you know? That's the thing. Or bullish. That's what's going to happen.
Well, the way I see it is even if the dollar goes down, I think the Israeli shekel will go down more.
I do not have experience to give you any advice on this. I haven't traded this pair at all ever.
But you see what I'm saying? So even if the dollar goes down, if the shekel goes down more, then USD ILS will be down.
That
doesn't matter.
Not up to my friend, because the value you're valuing it towards the dollar value, you know. And if DXY goes, you know, if it so. But yeah, it's up to you, man. I have no experience on this, but yeah. As far as shekel, dollar to shekel, so dollar is bullish towards shekel, which means shekel.
Can you just go? Anyone in the room, just go to the 6-month chart. USD ILS.
Why don't you zoom out of that chart though?
Well, before we zoom out, just check the 6-month chart.
Why? Why don't you just zoom all the way out?
But you could.
That would be a more useful indicator.
Depends when. I think in this case, the 6-month chart is it just screams.
Okay. What are you looking at? The 6-month candles? Is that what you're talking about?
No, not even candles, because I don't have that. I'm not in front of my computer.
Okay.
The 6-month chart, just like the line chart.
Oh, the line chart. Okay. What about it, brother?
So can you check the peaks since April? Because April 10th is when it peaked. Like that's the peak. Okay.
Yeah, that is the peak. Yeah.
And then from then, it's been going down in a very, I wouldn't say linear, but linear-ish.
Wow.
And do you see all these peaks, how they align?
Yeah, it seems like a range. This is the, yeah.
If you draw a straight line, it does seem like the shekel is much higher than what it should be. If that trend is...
And I also saw the bottom of it too. So like the bottoms of USD, all the bottoms are around 353, and most of the tops are around 384. And what ended up happening within the past, it like went down and it touched 346 and it bounced back up. So it seems like this is for USD is going to be bullish towards shekel.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I think I might do that shit.
If you're willing to hold for a few months, it looks almost certainly it's going to go down more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you just take a look at it, doesn't matter if you look at the 5-year chart, 5-day chart, if you look at the 1-month chart, it looks like it too. If you look at the 6-month chart, it looks like it. If you look at the 1 year, it kind of looks like it too. Because there's a negative trend for the 6 months, or 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. 5 years, not so much. 5 years, not so much. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this. But, well, I mean, I can guess. Tomorrow will be very interesting. I do think, well, let's see Bitcoin, because that's, Bitcoin is stable, isn't
This
it?
would have been a nice trade to get in before the war. You know, if you were in at like 350, it's pretty risk-free, and you'd be targeting like at least 380 to 390.
Yeah, but how the hell can you know?
Like,
Given what we do.
I haven't been paying attention to the currency pairs much, but yeah, Swiss franc looks shortable.
Ticker. What's the ticker?
CHF.
USD, CHF.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Japanese yen is also a little too strong right now.
What do you think the Swiss one is? Oh, it did that. Yeah. Oh shit, it does look shortable.
Yeah, I definitely look shortable because The Swiss franc and the Japanese yen are considered traditional safe haven currencies. So whenever there's volatility in the market, investors rush towards these currencies. They always spike up sharply when there's like a war or something like that.
I mean, can you go to the all-time with USD CHF? Can you go to the all-time chart? And then you see somewhere in September 2011, is it? No, June 2011.
Yeah.
Oh, no, September.
Around August, September.
Nope, it's just July, actually.
July, August, September 2011, I see that.
Yeah, that's like the lowest.
Yeah, that was 0.77 at the time.
Yep,
0.81 right now.
Almost there. Almost there. I'm not sure if it's shortable or if it's the total opposite.
And also, I was reading a couple of days ago that Switzerland, for the first time in its history, announced zero interest rates. They lowered their interest rates to zero for the first time.
Switzerland?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that's horrible. And they let go of the gold standard also.
Did they have a negative interest rate before?
Japan did.
The Switzerland, did they have a negative interest rate?
I'm not too sure.
Not as far as I know.
Could have.
It would also be a fun to actually short oil after this whole war thing gets over.
Yeah, actually they did a couple of times, but they exited the negative interest rate policy in September of 2022. I really wish I bought. This is my favorite currency, is the Swiss franc. I keep a bill.
Do you do Forex often?
No, I don't trade Forex at all. I just have some Swiss francs locked away somewhere. But these are always two nice trades. Whenever there's like economic uncertainty, I always look at the yen and the franc, Swiss franc.
But why not gold then? Because I feel like that's a much better.
It is. Gold is another one. So after gold, these two currencies are considered the safe haven asset. They're still fiat at the end of the day, but they're considered safe haven fiat.
That's right. I'm not sure I see a safe haven in any fiat. I'm not gonna lie, but I do see what you mean. Like people see it as safe haven, so when there's economic duress, people just move their money there, and that makes it spike. Makes sense. Makes sense. What do you think will happen to oil tomorrow? You've been keeping an eye on oil for a while.
It's up right now. I think it was up like 2%. Let me check again. But it was up like 2% this evening.
Check. Also, I didn't check.
1.3% right now.
How high do you think it's gonna go? Do you think it's gonna hit 100 and 120?
There has to be a serious escalation in the war for that to happen, because it's already, like, based on supply and demand constraints, it's already overpriced.
So the interesting question here is how much percent of the Iranian oil is actually in the market right now, other than China?
They give China a shit ton. It's not about their oil. It's about, again, if they stop Hormuz.
Okay, yeah.
This happens. Because again, maybe I'm wrong on the numbers, but if I'm not mistaken, 20% of the oil flow is through that strait. the global.
Yeah, I think
supply.
I think it might be even higher than that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it could even be higher than that.
Well, let's just assume it's just 20%. If it's 20% of the global oil supply, that means like Saudi Arabia can't offset it. They can't mass produce. Aren't they already all like on like ultimate freaking production? Because Trump wants to keep oil at a very low level. I do see something has to happen, man. And honestly, I think Israel wants the U.S. to enter the war against Iran, and I feel the only way they're gonna get the U.S. to do it is with high oil prices, especially with the tariffs. If you have high oil prices, then that's gonna be inflationary as shit. I remember Trump's like they were always telling Trump that hey, your tariffs are gonna cause an inflation, and he said no because like the oil, and if oil prices are low, then there will not be inflation, right? So.
But this whole situation which happened, it has in a disguise helped US economy. Like if see that people made started having more interest in the US treasuries, which they were not having like few weeks ago. So if we are considering as a Japan and Swiss as a safe haven, for many people even the US dollar is a safe haven.
So how do we feel about what we're seeing at the moment, guys?
Well, respect.
You know what though? The way Israel has been able to take out the key IRGC people so easily, I don't think Iran's gonna take this thing too far. Because like if they try to block the Strait of Hormuz, then Iran is gonna take out the Khomeini. Right? He's gonna take out both Ayatollahs.
We'll take him out.
I don't think they will take out the Ayatollah.
Yeah, if they take out the Ayatollah, it'll be a huge.
Yeah, I don't think that will happen.
Well, if Iran disrupts the global oil supply, I don't they have like a green light to do it.
Well, I think Israel will be the one that makes sure the global oil supply is disrupted, such that then the Americans will have to get involved.
Interesting.
I think this was a bad. I think this was a bad move from Netanyahu personally.
If he actually disrupts the oil supply.
Yeah.
Why?
No, not specifically that. I think the situation in its entirety. You know, I think it's just I think considering the ongoing talks with America, there was a possibility for some. He mentioned a strong document, an attempt at peace. You know, I just think the timing of it again. The effect that it's having on Israel, you know, this is going to have a lasting effect. You know, the Iron Dome, the thought of it was enough, you know, to ensure security for the Israeli public. But given, you know, they forced Iran's hand, and now it's been exposed the Iron Dome to an extent, and I think that leaves like a lasting legacy of anxiety for the Israeli public. You know, how well can they ensure their safety? You know, how long can they?
I think it's a bad thing for Netanyahu. I'm not sure it's a very bad thing for Israel.
Well, it's undeniable.
That's the thing. I don't even like Israel, but I do like Netanyahu.
Well, this is the thing. It's undeniable, right? Because up until he struck Iran, there was this understanding of the Iron Dome. There was a feeling of invincibility, right? But that's been shattered a little bit. Not even a little bit. I mean, this will have massive, you know, repercussions just for the mentality of the Israeli public. You know, this is undeniably traumatic. Undeniably. You know, how do you continue? You know, they always lived with sirens. Don't get me wrong. You know, and even that alone was stressful, right? I can imagine. But the fact that the air defense system is no longer effective, how can you continue? You know.
Yeah, the Israelis will have to revolt against Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have to spend every day. Well, first things first, they don't sleep because the rockets hit them at night, which is smart. Like that's very smart.
Clever.
And then they go down to the what do you call them?
The tunnels.
The shelters and whatever. Yeah, and they have to stay there a lot because clearly these guys can hit you like
anytime.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was a dumb move because the Iranis. I mean, their missiles aren't created in concentration camps. You know, these guys have actual missiles.
Yeah.
But.
And I think as well, if you look at the Iranian people, I mean, they got struck. You know, their leader got struck under Trump. I think it was ages ago. Do you remember they struck Trump?
Soleimani, IRGC.
Yeah, exactly. This is like what a couple of years ago now. We're talking, right?
Well, it was cute.
Sorry.
I love Soleimani. He was cute.
Yeah. So I think Trump struck out him like ages ago, right? And so they've been living in this. It's been bubbling, you know. They're kind of accustomed to disruption in their daily life, but the Israeli people are simply not. They are not.
Yeah, the Iranis are very resilient. That is true. Yeah. But my point is that it'll be Israel trying to get Iran to close Hormuz. So that's what I'm thinking is the Iranis have been threatening to close Hormuz, but I think that's a dumb move because I think Israel wants you to do that. Mm-hmm. The Israelis want the U.S. to join the war. Clearly, on their own, they're not really. They're not. I don't think their leadership is pretty confident, but I don't know why they started this whole war. But how do you get? The only way to get the Americans to join is if Hormuz is closed. That's how I see it.
Did you guys see the latest damage in Tel Aviv?
Insane.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's insane. Yeah, I mean, I saw a video with like 8 to 10 impacts in one go. Like there was this one insane.
This one just happened. I don't know which one you're talking about because there were multiple. But the news came in at 9:54 a.m. So, like 5 minutes ago, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, aftermath pictures of like all the damage that's been caused, and there's no way there's no casualties. There's no way. I mean,
yeah, of course. No,
Israel can lie about it all they want because they're not going to cause panic. But there's no way there's no casualties. Like this is crazy.
And I mean, even the casualties, it's not even about that. Let's say that they try to minimize or manage to. They have to come up to breathe for a moment and look at the debris. They have to see the aftermath, you know. They have to deal with that, you know. Look at the city, you know.
Yeah, there's probably mass panic in the country. I mean, if there are missiles falling downtown Tel Aviv, of course there's going to be mass panic.
Insane.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are cowards. They're going to leave. There's no way they're staying there.
Yeah.
They said four casualties so far. Israel's lost 4 civilians so far.
I highly doubt that it's only 4.
I find that hard to believe, but we'll have to see. I think it's difficult to do a head count at this point, you know.
The thing is, like, Iran hasn't got many punches through. You know, they've landed a couple here and there. But, you know, the vast majority, they haven't caused any, like, serious damage yet. They hit Haifa, they hit Tel Aviv. But
I think they hit a nuclear facility and a landing strip as well, if I'm not mistaken.
The thing is, like, Israel's been very effective in, they took out, like, the intelligence chief today and, like, this other senior guy. Like, Israel's managed to, like, hit all the high-profile targets. So
that's
yeah, but I think that
people inside of Iran, like agencies working inside, like Mossad inside of Iran. But when it comes to like actually throwing missiles, Iran is doing a pretty fucking good job.
Yeah,
they don't. At least they'll be able to penetrate. But it seems here that they hit the power plant.
I mean, you can say what you want, but up until this point, no one has managed to successfully penetrate the Iron Dome, and this is undeniable. It doesn't matter about the amount of casualties or any significant locations that have been hit. The reality is piercing the Iron Dome is just incredibly significant.
Hypersonics. Any hypersonic can bypass Iron Dome.
Right, and that's just a new layer to the conflict that just the Israeli public have not been aware of. Now, even if you're in a bunker, don't get it twisted. When that hits the ground, if you're not safe in that bunker, you're not feeling. It's not a nice feeling in those bunkers. It's at 3 a.m. Having to wake up and you're hearing them struck the ground. There's even videos of some bunkers where the entrances are blocked off now. Someone uploaded a picture. I'm not sure if you've seen it, where they can't get out of the bunker. So this is like a phenomenon that people aren't even trying to emphasize. So it's interesting. Again, Netanyahu's an idiot, man. He's a fool, and his personal ambition, he felt was more important than the safety of his people. That's why he flew out the day he started the war.
No, it doesn't matter, man. Like, these casualties are very small. Like, rebuilding Israel will be so easy because everyone in the West, like, we pay tax dollars to build Israel, so it's not an issue. 50 dead Israelis is not a big deal. We're going to get the U.S. to get involved in the war. And
but this has an echo, this has reverberations in the sense that, you say you're trying to grow Israel, you're making developments, housing complexes and whatnot. This raining down on Israel as recently as 2025 June is just massive. Like, you can't ensure the safety in the modern era. Like, they're trying to create a place in the Middle East that is like a safe haven, right? And
they can still do it. They can still do it.
But it just changes things, It just changes.
It does, but let me tell you, it's going to be exactly, like, literally, it's going to be exactly like Gaza and Lebanon with Hezbollah. In the beginning, everyone's like, oh, long live the resistance. And then 1 week after, they're all like, oh, stop the genocide in Gaza, stop the genocide in Lebanon. It's going to be the same.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. You know why? I'll tell you.
It's going to be the same.
Because there are nations which are next to Iran whose own existence would be at a threat if they allow Israel to escalate this any longer.
No, well, here's the thing, right? I'm sure Iran is like trying to coax Lebanon and other countries into joining this effort, like at least letting them use their territory to launch a sneak attack on Israel. But they're shit scared. Like, everybody is shit scared to get involved. They know, like, if they allow Iran to use their territory to launch any strikes, there's gonna be major collateral damage. So, like, no one wants to get involved, right? They're just like.
I'm not talking about countries like Lebanon that don't even have an air force. I'm talking about countries like Pakistan and China.
Lebanon doesn't even exist anymore. Hezbollah doesn't exist anymore. Gaza doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
Only the
Pakistan and China are going to be key players in this war.
These guys, like Turkey and Pakistan, are not like Hezbollah and the Houthis. These are completely different propositions.
I don't think Pakistanis will play. The Chinese, I agree with you. The Pakistanis, I think they'll defend.
Pakistan is basically America's bitch.
Have always used Pakistan as a proxy when it comes to testing their weapons. So
the thing is, like,
I don't know if you guys heard this news, but Pakistan already the day before yesterday, it scrambled its jets into Iranian airspace.
So,
you know what I mean?
Pakistan might gamble with that to be involved with this war. China will never do that. China would strategically always tries to outsmart the U.S. in any way that it can. So it may seem like they may want to negotiate with the Israelis, between the Israelis and Iran. It might be like the middleman, but China is not going to do that. China is not going to take a gamble. And someone actually made someone said that all these other countries are shit scared. Of course they're shit scared. That's why Iran. That's why you see even in the Levantine area that Jordan is actually intercepting a lot of the Iranian missiles that are coming. They're the ones who are actually shooting them before it even gets to Israel.
You know, I think Pakistan is a non-factor here because, like, number one, Pakistan is America's bitch, right? So America is going to dictate Pakistan.
That is true. The Chinese who are scary, not the Pakistanis.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Like, Pakistani officials are on record for saying that they'll do anyone's dirty work as long as the price is right. So that, you know, you pay us, we'll do whatever you ask, right? And that's Pakistan's. That is their official.
Pakistan's existence is what you're not understanding. When it comes to Iran getting attacked, right?
Dude, hold on.
We have a war.
You said that already.
Each other, guys. Come on.
Yeah, you already said that. So hold on. Now, the point is, if you look at it, so the IMF, just in the lead up to this war, the IMF has agreed to like some $6 or $8 billion loan to Pakistan. The World Bank, which is the U.S. controlled World Bank, has agreed to a $40 billion loan to Pakistan, right? In the lead up to the war. This is not a coincidence. This is basically bribery money, right? So, you know, as long as Pakistan is a good dog, that America will release these funds, right? If Pakistan misbehaves, they're not going to get this money. So that, you know, this money
Pakistan is always doing covert ops. You're not going to see Pakistan coming up and saying, yeah, we're going to attack Israel. We're going to side in with Iranians, although the prime minister did make a statement that they stand with Iran. But Pakistan will never openly come and say it. But that being said, there have been almost 600 missiles that have been smuggled from Pakistan to Iran recently.
Whether that's
and
the case
a lot
or
of these
not,
are going to...
Sorry, I need to interrupt this because I mean, yes, even though if they might, you know, they smuggle missiles through Iran or whatever, we all know that at the end of the day, Pakistan and the Pakistani government are always for sale. That's why they're, and when it comes to even like the index of corruption, and when you look at it, like the worst like government corruption in the world, in the index of it, Pakistan always actually shows up in that list, one of the highest.
Well, that doesn't matter. When there's of course there's corruption. There's corruption in every country, but when it comes to existential threat, like how India was recently threatening Pakistan, what happened? Pakistan took down their fucking...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Why do you think Iran getting fucked is a existential threat to Pakistan, though? That's kind of obvious.
I think just
because we share a border with them.
Yeah, the proximity alone. I think you're sleeping on the fact that yes, historically, Pakistan has cooperated with America, but when it comes to their own security, there are certain instances where they prioritize themselves, and obviously, given the fact that Israel is struck first, it kind of falls into the favor of Iran and
you don't know another thing. Pakistani jets were scrambled into Iranian airspace. I mean, anybody who says that we are not involved is just stupid at this point. I mean, you're not looking at the news. If you have Pakistani jets scrambled into Iranian airspace, what do you think is happening? So you think that if that one jet is taken down by Israel, what do you think is going to happen? Nothing?
Because the U.S.
India is a far greater threat than Israel. India is a far superior military than Israel. It is far bigger than Israel. And if we can bomb the fuck out of them and shut them down, Israel is not a fucking problem, let me tell you that. And yes, I agree that a Pakistani military, I say this myself, that they are like a large mercenary group. You can hire them for kills, sure. But when it comes to their own existential threat, they will act very offensively like they did with India.
I'm still not sure I agree with that whole existential threat thing. I mean, I would agree with you if it is truly an existential threat. But just because Iran is bordering Pakistan, that doesn't mean it is an existential threat. Syria.
I mean, if it comes to worse, though, in this case, Iran will actually, I mean, Pakistan will side with Iran if you, in terms of like, if you look at it that way, and there's many.
But why is that? I mean, Turkey is bordering Syria. Yeah, Turkey was the one that caused the
Turkey and
uprising in
Pakistan are
Syria.
not
Like,
the
what does
same
that mean?
countries. You know what I mean? You have to keep that in mind. But Turkey and Pakistan are not the same. First of all, Turkey is not a nuclear power. China is not going to allow Israel to have that type of power in this region. Do you get what I mean? They're not going to allow Israel to destabilize Iran. And this is the reason why they didn't allow India to destabilize Pakistan by providing them PL-15 missiles. So it's not just about you. You're thinking, existential threat in the sense that there's going to be bombs. No, existential threat in the sense that they're going to have control in this region if they take down big powers like Iran. So you have to understand that China is not going to allow that. Pakistan is not going to allow that. They're not going to allow them to cause instability in the region because they have to defend their own superiority in this region. Do you understand what I mean?
I mean, at the end of the day, if we look at it this way, Iran, what is going on for them is that project. If that project is shut down, and let's say Israel and America, hypothetically speaking, win this war that they invoked, that's the end of it. Iran has nothing going on, with the exception of them even like saying, for example, America's promise or the West were, hey, you know what, shut down this project, and we're gonna de-sanction you and make sure we're gonna have a trade with you, we're gonna buy your oil, we're gonna do all these things with all of them obviously blatant lie. So at the end of the day, it's like, let's say they take down Israel, which take down Iran, which I don't think they will, because Iran, especially right now, you've seen the Iron Dome is not doing shit. Like where you see the poke holes that are coming through the port of Haifa, and Iran has actually struck many different places where they're actually doing. I think they're doing great. So with the Americans and the Israelis trying to take down, even if they take down, if that's a success, then it's what is next. That's the question for the region.
Well, nobody can answer that question definitively, of course, but I can only give you an analysis of what I see happening in the present. Currently, Iran has an advantage, a lot of intel and a lot of military power and advanced weaponry from China. This is how Pakistan won this recent war, and this is how Iran is going to win against Israel.
And I think as well, you have to remember, right, given the fact that Trump was trying to negotiate a deal with Iran at the time, and Israel struck while they were in the process of negotiation, Iran has a lot of, what can you say, like political capital, in the sense that they were considering a amicable deal, but they were struck in the process. And so Israel are now, the posture of Israel is very aggressive. And so if countries come in support of Iran, it will be naturally deemed a defensive approach, a defensive posturing, rather than an offensive. And so it's easier for these countries to justify their involvement by simply saying, well, Israel's going rogue and Netanyahu's lost the plot, and we're simply trying to ensure security and stability in the region, not trying to assist in any type of military domination. So they have that leverage.
You are right, because of course, Western media, when you look at all these Western media, they're not gonna, even when they write, when they're writing, and instead of saying Israel invoked war on Iran, they say Israel attacked. So they they're very carefully worded, and it's the side of the side of Israel in a way, because of course these Western medias are controlled by they're all owned by Jew, and with I'm not sure even the BBC, but anyway, yes, and you are right. Witkoff was actually supposed to be having the sixth round of the peace peace talk, I guess you say, but negotiation of the nuclear weapon project. And actually, this weekend that just or still today is Monday for me, but this weekend that just passed, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're supposed to be meeting in Muscat, Oman, for the sixth time, and yet Israel provoked the war and started the shit.
I don't know. I think the notion that Pakistan is gonna go and save Iran is quite funny. Yeah. So if you look at the recent,
are you Indian by any chance?
My parents from Fiji. I grew up in the U.S. My parents from Fiji.
Nobody said anyone's gonna save anybody. That's
exactly.
So here's the thing, right? Like if you look at in recent years, Iran and Pakistan have had border skirmishes where like each other's military has like Iranian military has like killed Pakistani soldiers on their border. So there have been a few of those skirmishes in the recent years. I'm not saying the situation is exactly the same right now. But that is recent historical facts. Also, if you look at the recent skirmish that happened with India and Pakistan, it makes sense why the U.S. came and intervened now in hindsight, because obviously they were planning something around Iran. They didn't want to distract from that, right? They didn't need any of these distractions. But if you look at this conflict, right? Everybody, because look, Prudu can confirm this. In India, nobody was actually losing any sleep because nothing actually hit the ground. There was a lot of missiles.
I've seen videos of what do you mean nothing hit the ground?
So
there are actual video evidence.
No. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing.
I know people in India that have been struck. What are you talking about?
Right? Can you talk after me? So the thing is, right?
You're just saying random shit, which is not factual.
No, dude. You're just
you're stuttering and shit. Are you Hindu? What are you?
Let's have a source. If you're gonna spit something out, let's have a source that
okay.
is.
Okay. So yeah, I'll be happy to post an independent source, right? Basically, nothing hit the ground, right? Because India's air defense systems, they stopped all the incoming missiles. The Pakistanis targeted several cities. No, not one civilian building was hit. Nothing on the ground was hit, right? But if you look at the reverse, right? 17 different cities in Pakistan were hit. There's visual satellite imagery to confirm this. 7 to 10 Air Force bases were hit. Runways were taken out. Airplane hangars were taken out. And there is satellite imagery to confirm all of this.
In the war of this, honestly, a lot of Pakistan actually did a great job and actually protected itself from India. I don't know where you're just giving one-sided,
Exactly.
I don't know. You're one-sided.
It was very humiliating. It was very
the opposite, where India, supposedly one of the greatest powers that's a questionable. But anyway, actually, Pakistan defended themselves really good and humiliated India.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
So here's the thing, right? No, what I'm referring to is that there were barrages of missiles launched at major cities on the Indian side, but on the ground, nothing was actually hit. Okay, so all these missiles were intercepted. No missiles actually hit the cities, right?
Yeah. What about the Raphael jets? They shot down 1 billion.
Yeah. What about that?
Worth of jets. They shot down $1 billion worth of jets. What about that?
Say it again.
Pakistan shot down $1 billion worth of jets, Indian jets.
$1 billion worth of jets? How do you even quantify? How are you even quantifying?
Because
these
jets are very expensive.
That's basically like
American. No, they're
it's
American.
Like five jet.
They're American fire jets that actually. When you look at these fire jets, right? A lot of them other than the ones that are Russian made, most of the countries actually buy it from the U.S. And U.S.
India bought their jet from India bought their jets from France. They're Rafael jets, and they're very expensive. And
so they have a lot of jets, right? They have like Russian MiGs, they have Russian Sukhois, they have Rafael.
But the 5 to 6 jets that were taken down were Rafael.
But that was the claim of that was the claim of the Pakistani foreign minister.
Indian military confirms it.
This is confirmed.
Also see that.
I'll show you the video. Hold on.
Show me where they say like 5 to 6 jets were shot down. Like,
You also
the only guy who said that 5 to 6 jets. Okay, so the only guy who said 5 to 6 jets were shot down was a Pakistani minister guy, right? And so like anyone, obviously like Iran saying like, yeah, we've killed like hundreds of Israeli citizens on the ground, like we're bombing the shit out of Israel. The Iranian foreign minister said, so are you gonna like say, okay, that's the source? Like this is the.
They never said that.
So I'm going to let us restructure the whole debate here. So we all know that Iran and China and Russia. Basically, the oil from Iran goes to Russia, and from Russia it goes back to China. So economically,
customer of Iranian oil is Chinese. Chinese buys
So China buys 80% of the Iranian oil. India even buys the Iranian oil, but not at the ratio of what China buys. But a lot of the Iranian oil, what's the route of and from which it goes to China? Basically, the Iranian oil goes to Russia, and from Russia it goes to China. And there also for Pakistan, a lot of the oil, not officially, but through the region of Balochistan, it goes to it's literally being used in Pakistan too. And so it's all about economics at the end of the day, and it's also about regional players being a regional players. So I do not differ that Pakistan is going to be a very important pivotal role in whatever that is going to happen here because of its geolocation. That's what Freddie was trying to tell. He's somewhat right on that, on regards of the role of Pakistan on this. But what we are saying here is that when US makes its policies, if US is trying to enter into it something, they have already strategically decided what they want to do with Iran. So if USA is doing it, then definitely what is going to be the role of Pakistan? Pakistan has already, with this current situation, has already told that that one of their air bases is basically being taken care by the US government. So that's officially been said by them. It's not something that is made up. So and in past too, Pakistan has always been on side of China, and it makes sense for the country like Pakistan, who for its own economical survival, they need both US and China, and no country would deny it. Any country, even if India is not going to choose between either US or China, correct? India is also going to be on the both sides of the
which they are.
Yeah, they are, which both the countries are. So it's not about who is on whose side. Everybody is on their own side, and that's what we are here to. Like we are here to make money.